Hello everyone, greetings brave warriors and our condolences to those whose workers were pillaged. This is Imperia Online World Cup podcast. I am Mitko.
And I'm Vicky.
We are broadcasting live from Imperia Online Headquaters and in YouTube. Today we are now in day 6 of the World Cup. Vicky, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, today we're going to talk about the last 5 days since the World Cup qualifier started. We're going to summarize the numbers, the statistics, and discuss a little further on what we can expect. We're going to have detailed info on all the attacks which the Imperial defenders have suffered so far. We're going to analyze those attacks and if the players have started to enhance their attacks against each other. We are also going to talk about your predictions on what the upcoming days are going to bring in the qualifiers.
My famous crystal ball.
Yeah, your crystal ball, we all have faith in it. And
Thank you.
of course, we're going to talk about what the player can gain when they rank first in their nation's top 30. Besides the knowledge that they're the leader, and of course, what is going on in the heads of the leaders and in the players' heads. So. This is pretty much what we're going to talk about in the upcoming hour. Today we have a whole hour at our disposal. So, yeah, I think this pretty much sums it up.
Okay, first things first. We now have 5 waves of nomad soldiers
Yes, that
which
have hit.
struck the Imperial defenders. Some of them had fun, some of them cried, all of them played into the World Cup qualifiers. What will you tell us about these waves?
Well, let's just say that the numbers are what's important right now. So the first wave was on Thursday. I'm going to go through the ones that we've talked about last week, and then we're going to talk about the two that hit during the weekend, because we haven't given the numbers from those yet. So on Thursday we had Asgarda, the first wave that was led by her, and it was pretty much a test wave. Only 1,000 light spearmen took part in the nomad army. It was a fortress siege, and 2 people succeeded in failing. It was a Bulgarian.
Succeeded in failing is a nice way to put it.
Yeah, one from Bulgaria and one from Norway. So this was the first wave. We had 3,208 wins for the Imperial defenders. The next day, the next wave we had was from Mimi PG. It was on Friday, and it was a very, very strong wave. It was again Fortress Siege, and we had more than huge fun. we had let's see, we had more than 17,000 losses, 17,000 defeats for the Imperial defenders.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a very hard and difficult one to defeat, and we had more than 5,000, and 600 wins, which compared to the previous day was a lot. Actually, I think something.
Let me just interrupt
Yeah.
you and tell you that you sound awfully morbid about this way. Think it from this perspective. 5,000 people were ready for this attack.
Well, yeah, they were prepared despite the fact that I guess not a lot of people were expecting.
This is not a small this is not a small figure at all.
Yeah, and why we are talking about having a tough battle on day 2, because Mimi PG hit with I think how much were they? 3,000 light spearmen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3,000 light
and
spearmen.
350 archers,
Yeah, yeah,
light archers, as well as 5 battering rams. Compared to the previous days, the previous wave had only 1,000 light spearmen.
yeah,
This was a huge surprise to the people who weren't prepared well enough. So on day 2, we had the first place was for Brazil, as well as for day 1, with a bit over 500 wins. Victories, let's say. So day 3, it was Saturday.
yeah.
This was the day we didn't have a live stream here, so this is something new. It was Ivanina that hit. It was a pillage, the first pillage, and a lot of people lost a lot of villagers. We've got
Yeah,
we've got almost 64 million dead villagers after Ivanina hit. Less than 5,000 Imperial defenders were prepared enough, and the nomads had almost 18,000 wins.
yeah.
Yeah.
A huge
So
figure.
yeah, this time it looks like
Pillages, the first pillages are always very interesting. They are the real.
interesting for us and very sad for
Yeah,
for most players.
it is a real test for the fighting capabilities of the players, because the first pillage always means the first field battle. In a field battle, you have no choice but to put out your army
Yeah.
and fight the invading troops, and you will definitely lose troops, and therefore you will lose network points. So this is probably the first battle which goes to show how much are the top players prepared to lose is network points, because this is after all a tournament of network points. The less you lose, the better you will rank, and
of course.
the stronger will your position be in the top 30.
This is what the qualifiers are all about,
Yeah,
after all. Well, yesterday it was day 4 since the nomads started striking, let's
Yeah.
say. It was the leader of the nomad army was Elektroto. I'm
Yeah.
going to say that with a Bulgarian accent because because it is another one of our favorite local heroes. Let's just say so. It was a fortress siege. After the first pillage, we decided to give another fortress siege to make people a bit more calm, a bit calmer actually.
Yeah, to grind some war income.
Yeah, because
etc.
so many villagers died on Saturday.
It's
I
almost
think
sad.
I think we have to try to keep a minute of silence for them, but
If you keep announcing
so many bad news.
so huge figures about slain civilians, people will start to think.
Well, I'm sorry. This is the fight,
that-
the struggle
Yeah,
is
they will
fierce.
they will start to think that we are performing some kind of genocide,
Well,
virtual. Here.
Everyone knows that this is a war, so
Yeah,
yeah, that's what happens in Imperia Online. So
sad but true.
yeah, of course. The fortress siege that hit yesterday on Sunday consisted of 2,000 light spearmen, 500 light archers, 750 light swordsmen, and 10 battering rams. It was a pretty serious one, and it looks like the players have grasped the ways to survive, though, because we have a little less wins for the nomads. They've got just a bit over 17,000
Oh,
wins, yeah, and the Imperial defenders have kept their a bit over 5,600 wins. So this is pretty much a little better than the previous fortress sieges. So that's something. Brazil keeps the leading position in both wins and losses. We've got over 600 wins for Brazil. The second place goes to Russia with over 450. Romania is in the third spot with more than 430 wins. Turkey is in the fourth spot with 416, and Bulgaria keeps the fifth spot for now.
I told you that Russians are
climbing,
are sending a message. They keep getting tougher and tougher, and they will play major role in this tournament.
Yeah, and by the way, pretty much the same five nationalities, the same five countries are in the first five spots when talking about losses as well.
Yeah.
Brazil has over 2,500 losses in the last day. This wave brought more than 1,700 losses for Turkey. Romania is in the third spot with more than 1,200 losses. Russia were defeated with the number of 1,000 and almost 200. Bulgaria is in the fifth spot when talking about losses with a bit over 1,000. And the next place, the sixth spot, is with like a huge difference. There is a huge gap, which is from more than 1,000 we are going to 650 losses. So this is a huge gap between the first five and the sixth spot. So, and then there was today we had the arena.
Yeah.
She did a pillage.
Yeah.
The second pillage was today, and it was again a pretty brutal one, but less villagers were killed. We had less than 60 million villagers compared to the first pillage, which cost our Imperial defenders more than 64 million. We've got about 5 million less villagers that were pillaged.
This is a big figure.
Yeah.
Well, so you mean to tell me that people actually that people actually got
they pretty much got the hang of it.
Yeah. They toughened up. They got a good relaxing weekend.
Well,
they morale boosted.
Don't forget the first pillage was on Saturday, so I'm not sure we can this weekend can qualify as a pretty relaxing one.
When you told me about these figures, the difference between the two pillages, I imagined some kings that stood up and started to act like men, and it was a warm, fuzzy feeling that came.
But we have 5 million less villagers dead, pillaged.
Yes,
but
yeah.
You are so quick to get get happy. We've got the most losses so far. I'm talking about more than 18,200 wins for the nomads, and only 4,600 Imperial defenders were prepared well enough, as it turns out. So, yeah, we have to just take everything into account. The arena, by the way, hit with 3,000 light spearmen and 400 light cavalry, which was the first time we saw light cavalry in the game since the World Cup started. So yeah, we are kind of sad and kind of happy. We've got good and bad numbers, and by the way, the top 5 in both losses and wins continues to consist of the same countries. Of course, we've got a little shuffle happening in the spots, but Brazil is still ahead of both rankings. So yeah, this is pretty much what happened in the last few days, in the last 5 days. Tomorrow, I'm not sure, should we spoil the surprise now on what's coming, or should we talk about it a bit later? What do you think?
Oh, by all means, announce
Okay, I'm
the
going to.
attack, and we will show it to the people.
Yeah, if you are among the contestants, you are probably in the game and you have already seen what's coming. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we are going to see a Nomad Wave. It is going to be led by Blues. That's the name of the general, and it's going to be a fortress siege. Blues is going to be leading more than 500, to be exact, 510 light spearmen, more than 1,000 archers, light archers, 1,020 light swordsmen, and 10 battering rams. So it's going to be a strong one. Hopefully, our players, our Imperial defenders, have gotten the hang of how to deal with fortress pillages, because we already had 3 of those, and tomorrow's is going.
Fortress sieges, you mean?
Fortress sieges. What did I say?
Fortress pillages.
Which is a whole different.
Probably
thing.
in some of the next tournaments,
Yeah.
we will have a fortress pillage.
Let me just write it down.
Yeah,
Fortress pillage.
We can offer it
something
as an idea to our
To our-
bosses.
yeah.
We could pillage a fortress.
Our game designers should think about a fortress pillage.
It will be fun.
Yeah, so what I meant to say was it's going to be our 4th fortress siege.
Yeah, yeah.
Since we had 2 pillages, not fortress pillages, and hopefully people will be ready and prepared this time. So I think it's only fair that our studio is trying to kill us. Maybe this is some kind of a fortress pillage for
Don't
us.
touch the shield.
I
please.
didn't do anything.
Please.
It's on tape.
Please,
So
don't do it.
I think it's only fair that now we discuss those numbers a bit, and what you think of what the stats show and what they mean. So just what do you think they mean?
Well,
Mitko?
what do I mean? Well, first of all, let me just tell you and everyone that the testing and the easy times in the qualifiers are now history, Vicky.
Well, they are over.
Yeah,
I
they're
see,
over.
yeah.
No more fun, no more vacations, no more
Wait, fun is always present when you're
easy-
playing Imperia
easy
Online.
weekends, etc. The qualifiers are now entering the phase which I call the serious business. We already got 2 pillages, which managed, obviously, to surprise a lot of players. Or have they? The pillage, let's just talk about this for a while. The pillage is the kind of attack that always make the players think about their strategic choices. First of all, if your economic development is advanced enough, you shouldn't worry about the pillage at all. The starting pillages are usually weak enough, and if somebody wants to enhance the invading pillaging army, even if somebody wants to do this, your province's populations are so vast and huge at this point, if your development is enough,
right.
that is right, that you don't even have to send a defending army to slaughter the invading nomad army. You will not be pillaged.
Well, that's good to know. So
yeah.
make sure you develop enough.
Yeah, yeah. But now comes an alternative. You can, of course, slaughter a large part of the invading nomad force, so you can get that big fat war income. It's It's of course a field battle. You will have to get your soldiers out of the safety of the fortress walls, put them into the field, and get their hands dirty. Uh, People will die.
Yeah,
You,
so I'm sorry, in the next few days I am going to have to talk about death and such.
yeah, both soldiers
Yeah,
and
unfortunately,
civilians.
more death is on the way.
Field well, it's a field battle. You will definitely lose soldiers, and therefore you will definitely lose network points. It is inevitable.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh the options. Will the war income from the slain nomad army cover your losses and be enough to help you remain or sneak into top 30? Mm, you will have to think the other about the other players as well. What will they do? Will they let the pillage go, or will they fight the nomad armies to get that war income? What is their style to play? How will they react based on this style? The time that you actually start to think about the players and about who will play with you in the top 30 has actually come at this point of the qualifiers. Uh,
So you have to do what in order to be prepared to both do well against the Nomad waves and make sure that you're qualifying well enough compared to the other players?
well, I can't. I can't be in all the top players' shoes.
Yeah, just
I'm not that good.
what's going on in the heads of the potential leaders?
Personally,
at
what I
least.
would do
Yeah.
is to get as much, get as strong army as I can and kill as much nomads as I can in order to get the maximum amount of war income. This is those are resources that I simply cannot allow to let go
Yeah.
at this point. This will further fuel my economy and will skyrocket me, and every bit of economy means more network points, more economy, then more soldiers you will need for the late game waves, which will be very, very, very strong and dangerous. And after all, the qualifiers are a game of numbers. You need
Yeah, of course.
network points. So it is also the time when you should think about your first diamonds investments. Probably, what will you invest your diamonds in? 10 hours production. Or boost somebody's invading army. Why would you do it? You know, probably you know somebody in the top 30 who you think you will not give his 100% for the team in the qualifiers. So this one has to die. So you can invest diamonds in order to get an army large enough to bring him down.
Yeah, to get him out of the...
Yeah. How about or the other option? You can deliberately boost somebody's invading army in order for him to grind as much resources as nomad as war income as he can. This is a completely valid tactic to boost someone even to the first place. This is also the time when people in the top 30 rankings start the contacts between themselves, the diplomacy, the meta, and the future negotiations.
Yeah,
It is
unions and plots start to form.
of course, you will have to talk to the people who will be in your national team. You have to start to get to know them if you don't know some of them. It is extremely important to both strengthen your top 30 position and start to get to know
Yeah.
the people who will keep you company in this ranking. So also, if all of you national wannabes haven't found the moles in the top 30 yet, it is
Yeah,
now
it's a good time to identify them and take them out because
and take them out, yeah, with a shotgun. The best option is
a
a shotgun.
virtual one,
Yeah,
please.
of course.
So yeah, we talked about how destructive moles can be. If,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
if they are
If you allow
if they're
a
allowed
mole,
in the top
yeah,
30.
if you allow a mole to infiltrate your ranks uh, in the group stage, you deserve to get infiltrated, and you do not deserve to win, because you simply did not get to know your
You didn't
teammates.
do your homework.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very good phrase. You should, all of you should do your homework about the people
Mhm.
you're playing with.
We already talked about it, but some people are very good at disguising themselves with even speaking the language of the national team they are trying to sneak into.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
if everyone is knows the other people in the team
Yes.
well enough, I think everyone can eliminate a mole if there is one.
Probably in most of the cases, yes. But as I said in the first show, if a player is good enough, he can fake everything and he can really infiltrate and do some damage in a national
Well,
team.
this player
if-
deserves to.
Yeah, if he's motivated enough, it would be a historical event.
Yeah,
really.
deserves to be in the history.
Yes,
To,
yes,
to be left
yes.
as part of the history if
and
they are
and
as good as we think they
yeah,
are.
and the team which he infiltrated really deserves to be infiltrated if they didn't manage to
Yeah.
weed him out in time.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll
So-
see something as
so-
interesting.
So
This
my
year.
friendly suggestion to everyone: start to talk about the people in top 30.
And
your
by the way,
future
I think
teammates.
a good way to identify a potential mole is if people in the top 30, the people that are going to represent their country to be part of their national team, try to actually meet in person. Because if they, of course, there are some countries that are very, very huge and
Yeah.
it's not as easy.
Yeah.
But at least to have some meetings
Yeah.
in small groups and such, so that everyone is sure that the other people are real and are not moles from a
Oh, yeah.
very, very far away country.
Imagine such a meeting. Oh, I always thought you were a girl. Really?
Well,
no, I'm
that's
not.
that's
Yeah.
something that happens quite often. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of women playing, by the way, just so you know.
And they are some of the best players
Yeah,
in Imperia Online.
yeah,
I
we
can
already
tell you.
talked about one of them.
Yeah.
About Diana, who is a part of last year's champions, the Croatians.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, go on with your analysis, and I'll try to keep the shield up.
Huh. Well, uh,
So
everything that we talked about so far
yeah,
brings us to one more thing I would like to comment. The first place in the top 30. Why is it so interesting to talk about this first place? Well, first of all, let's just go over the World Cup rules again, and I seriously hope that you will be able to connect the dots when I tell you
okay.
everything.
Let's test
So-
me out.
Okay, listen to me very careful, please.
Okay.
The player who is ranked at first place automatically becomes the leader of the Nations Alliance when the qualifiers are over and when the World Cup group phase starts. Okay,
Okay.
So far, so good.
Okay, the
But
captain spot.
yeah, but we have another rule. The nations which have ranked at top 10 by net worth points in the last World Cup will receive 50,000 diamonds each in their alliance treasuries. Let us show the nations which were in top 10 by net worth points on the last World Cup. Okay, those nations are Croatia, Poland, Italy, Brazil, Turkey, Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece, and Spain. So, uh, only the leader in of these teams will have a complete access to these 50,000 diamonds. Did you connect the dots?
Yeah, well, this means that the leader can decide what to do with the 50,000 diamonds, I guess.
What?
On what to spend
Be-
them on.
Yeah.
And,
Before we continue, may I ask you what would you do with 50,000 diamonds?
wonders. I would pile them all into a big pool, and I will dive each day, every day inside it. And what is it?
Like that duck, Scrooge.
Yeah, like Scrooge. I would just dive in them and be
And
happy
swim,
and swim.
you will
Yeah.
spit them out
Wonders.
like a dolphin.
Well, no,
So
not like a
whale
dolphin.
when-
Yeah. Well, it will be my favorite place in the world. You don't seem happy about it.
I meant the World Cup. Those diamonds are not real.
Well, okay. Let's talk about those diamonds. Well, those diamonds, I think I'd be a good leader, and I would make sure that everyone gets their development and gets their share of diamonds.
So cute.
Yeah. Well, having in mind, inside the game we don't have an empty pool that I can pile them in. I think that's the next best thing to do.
Well, well, let me ask you something else then. Do you think that everyone in this game will be good leaders? Especially those from these top 10 countries.
Well, having in mind that those people are the best players, but the qualifiers so far don't require group play
Yeah,
and team play.
yeah.
I actually think that there might be one or two people, leaders, that are going to keep the diamonds for themselves. Well, no, I'm not sure they're going to do this. But I'm not sure they're going to be good leaders. But let's not forget that we are not counting on team play right now.
This is
So
yeah.
hopefully it will be an interesting development. But I think people that play Imperia Online are smart enough
Yeah.
and good enough. I mean,
Yeah.
kind-hearted.
Yeah.
And I think no one is going to take the diamonds away from their teammates.
But you have your doubts.
Well, hopefully something interesting happens.
This is the moment where an evil laugh should sound, I suppose. No?
Well, no.
Anyone?
We don't have any villains in here, I guess.
No. Pity. Okay.
Well, this is because here at Imperia Online we only hire people that are kind-hearted.
Good. Yeah.
We don't have any villains.
No evil people allowed
Yeah.
in Imperia Online. It's in the job description.
Yeah.
Everyone. So, okay.
Your
I am
thoughts?
inclined to agree with you.
Okay.
I also think that there will be no people, especially in the top 10, teams from the last year, who will take advantage of these diamonds. But I am also inclined to have my doubts, and I will tell you why. Two reasons. First of all, Uh, we already talked in one of our previous shows that people are already commenting some of these current leaders' uh, moral qualities, ethics, and integrity. Uh, this is for a reason. We all talked that about that players know each other.
Yeah.
They fought and played countless of realms as enemies, and they know what will some of them do if they are faced with this kind of dilemma. Um, the second reason is that we can already see a power struggle in for that priceless first place in some of the nations, and I will show you what I mean. Let's take a look at some of the nations leading players in top 30, and everything will become clear for you as well as anyone else. Okay, we have Brazil. Two people in the Brazilian national team are currently at the top two places, and the difference in the network points between them is measly 2,000 network points. This is not a difference at all. It means that these two people are desperately trying to. By the way, look at their current huge amount of network points.
Compared to the third place, there's a huge gap.
Not only that, compared to the other leading nations as well. I will show you just so it becomes clear. Let's see the Croatians, for example, the defending world champions. See, the guy who is in the first place has a lot less network points than the Brazilians.
Yep.
And
that's a huge difference.
Again, here we have an example of what I talked about earlier. See the difference between his network points and the network points of the second one. It's a 2 times difference. This means that this guy is pretty much very determined to become a leader of this alliance.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty much guaranteed he will enter. I'm not sure if it's a he, but it's pretty much a sure thing that they have secured their place in the national team at least.
Probably,
it looks like they are trying so hard, not only to be in the top 30, but to be in the first spot.
Yeah,
the difference is huge.
Probably, it's too early to say. Even this kind of difference can be
overthrown.
Yeah, can be overthrown if somebody is really determined.
But do you really think that someone that has put so much effort in the early days, in the first few days when the nomads started striking, do you think that someone like that would give in or settle down a bit in the upcoming days?
If he is really determined, it will not happen.
Yeah, because it pretty much looks like this is the case here.
It will not happen at all. But you never know. This is a game. Anything can happen.
Well, this is Imperia Online, and
this is Imperia Online. Yeah, everything.
And nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow, you can have some issues, problems, whatever, and the other guys could catch up. But if you have decided that you will be the one who will be a leader, who will become a captain, or if you have already spoken with the other guys who are currently in the top 30. I told you about the contacts, the
Yeah,
diplomacy, the meta, and the good teams. Those are those are guys, players here who are not here by chance. They
of
will
course.
definitely start to talk to each other. They will definitely start to negotiate, to make some arrangements, and to organize their future national team in these early stages of the qualifiers.
Despite the fact that they don't have to, because it's a solo thing right now. The
Yeah,
qualifiers don't require team play.
yeah,
I also think that people are starting to form groups and teams and
yeah.
alliances
Let
unit.
me, yeah, let me just show you other teams where there is a power struggle. Yeah, the good example. Romania is the good example.
Yeah,
See, uh, here you have probably three guys that are fighting for the first place.
yeah,
Romanians are traditionally a very strong team. They 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 get medals on a regular basis.
yeah.
Uh,
And as we saw in the statistics earlier, they keep the second or third
yeah,
spot usually
very
for,
solid team. Very
yeah,
solid team.
for
Okay,
most wins.
let's see Poland. Same thing. Okay, the Polish. You have two people that are fighting for the first place. Let's see Spain. Spain. No, Spain is not a good example. Spain is not a good example. Let's
Turkey
see.
maybe.
Oh
Turkey,
yeah,
they've got a
Turkey.
lot of
Turkey, yeah.
players.
Turkey, yeah. The Turks are. Oh yeah. This is the. See the numbers here, from first to sixth place. You
Yeah,
have 8,000 network points difference. The competition in the Turkish top 30 will be fierce,
yeah.
and
Really, there isn't such a gap there
yeah,
between any of
yeah,
them.
and this is the kind of competition that usually gets very strong teams, because it's a merciless natural selection. Only the best, those who fought till the end,
Yeah,
will
it's going
prosper,
to
and
be.
yeah, and will going to be in the national team. See, the the Turks are going really well.
They're very competitive,
Yeah,
and I actually think pretty much
it's
none of the other
yeah, it's all for
countries
one.
have the same
I-
level of
Free for all.
competition.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so
And keeping this in mind, what are your expectations on how people are going to continue with? I mean, those few first spots, those few first places in the rankings. Do you think we are going to see competition like the ones that we see in Turkey?
mhm.
Do you think the same thing will happen in some of the other top teams, like Brazil or Romania, for example?
Uh,
Or are you expecting just 2-3 people again?
it all depends on how will they how will they how will they choose it to be. So you can you have basically two ways
Okay,
to do this. The first way is the way of the Brazilians. You have two guys
okay,
that are far out ahead. The rest of them, according to my opinion, of course, the
of
rest of
course.
them will just say, okay, it's obvious that these two guys, one of them, will be our leader. So let's just uh, co- leave them compete to the end, and uh, whatever is ranked first at the end of the qualifiers will deserve to be our leader. The second way is the way of the diplomacy. You all get together, you start talk about who deserves to be a leader the most of them, and you start forming and shaping this guy in order for him to be a leader. We might witness, we don't know, we might witness both ways to be performed or to be followed by these teams by the end of the qualifiers. We will see. So far, this is the kind of this is the kind of options the players have. They still have a lot of time to figure out what is the best way for them to form their national team, to form their leaders, and which is most importantly, to have on the first place the guy who deserves the most and the guy who will really spend these and manage these 50,000 diamonds in the interest of the team,
Yeah,
the
of
common
course.
cause, and ultimately the win.
And while we are on the subject of net worth points and players, I think I should mention that actually we had a look at how the national rankings look,
Yeah.
but the whole picture is pretty interesting. The first two spots are for the two Brazilians,
Yeah.
and they are way ahead, but the third spot is for Hungary, which we didn't talk a lot about. They have their leading player.
Let's show Hungary.
Yeah, their leading player has more than 81,000 net worth points.
Hungary, are you sure?
Well, I'm pretty sure.
This is Croatia.
How is this Croatia?
Well, it is Croatia. Trust me. I know better.
Okay, so our statistics are a bit awkward then. Let's say that this is Croatia. Okay,
Yes.
check if the leading player has more than 81,000
Yes.
net worth
This is
points.
the guy.
Okay,
The
so
leader
this
of
is the
Croatia.
guy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Hungary. Hopefully, we're going to see you here as well.
Good luck to you, Hungary.
Okay,
No
and
disrespect meant.
of course, actually, I put a lot of trust in them, seeing how I actually decided that we have
the
underrated
Hungarians,
them.
well, they're doing quite good.
I thought
so
we
far.
have underrated them while they are doing very well, but obviously it was a Croatian player. And the fourth spot with 74,000 net worth points is for an Irish player,
Mhm.
which is a country we didn't have a look at till now. But it looks like they also have some very interesting, let's say, very strong contestants. And the fifth spot is for another Brazilian player, as well as the sixth spot. So Brazil is always present. So yeah, Ireland has a very strong player, and
I think it's not Ireland, but I will check
come
it.
on,
Oh yeah, no. Today your information is quite wrong.
how can
And
it be wrong?
yes, this is not.
My
this is-
information is wrong.
yeah, this is not. We will check it. We will check it anyway.
Tomorrow I'm
Later.
going to give you the right information. Turns
Yes.
out maybe it's not an Irish guy.
Yeah, maybe you should take your pills as well.
I'm taking my pills. Maybe I should stop taking them. They're making me quite off,
Dizzy.
dizzy. Seeing Irish and Norwegian players all around.
Yeah. And Hungarians as well.
Yeah, I already mentioned. What did I say? I said. Oh, I said Norway. I think.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pills.
pills.
Change them.
It's all about pills.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to say that Brazilians have the two main leading spots worldwide, but we've got a few strong players from other countries as
Yeah.
well in the top 5.
Which are not from Hungary and Ireland.
as it turns out.
Yeah.
I put my trust in them, and turns out I have a
And
bit.
you,
I
and
have
you,
overrated them a
yeah,
bit.
and you mocked me that I have favorites every day.
New
See?
favorites, yeah. Ah, well,
Karma.
I'm walking in your shoes.
Yeah.
Well, go on then. While after we talked a bit more about individual players, how they are doing in their own nations, and compared to the countries in the whole world.
Well,
Maybe about what your crystal ball is saying.
is it time
Yeah,
already?
it's about time,
All right. You asked for it.
of course.
You waited for it, and now you will get it. It's time for my crystal ball to speak wise words of prophecy and premonition into my head. Pretty soon, Vicky,
I'm gonna enjoy this.
pretty soon, Vicky, three things will happen in the qualifiers. First, nomad generals will become pretty nasty and will start attacking in different provinces.
Your crystal ball has an interesting choice of words.
Yeah. Second,
Okay.
nomad generals will become even nastier and will start attacking in more than one province. And third, nomad generals will become the essence of fiendishness and will upgrade their assault troops to heavy ones.
Yeah, so far we only saw pretty much, I think, light units, light spearmen, light
Yeah.
swordsmen,
Yeah.
light archers,
Yeah.
light cavalry,
Yeah.
and battering rams, of course.
But the inevitable will soon happen, and everyone should be really prepared.
Yeah, the nomads are pretty angry as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about these 3 points in depth one by one. First of all, a nomad attack in a different province, usually besides a huge fun, means that the nomads will attack one of your weaker provinces, one of your less developed
Yeah.
provinces, if not the weakest one. Our system is pretty evil, and it usually picks your weakest province.
Despite
to
the fact
attack.
we don't have any villains in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Our system is the villain.
Our machines are really
Yeah.
evil. Yeah. That what does that mean? That means that you usually don't have enough of a fortress level in this province, so you can stop the nomad army with just garrisons and score a clear victory. If you are facing boosted and troops with coefficients, you will definitely have to move troops from other provinces, put them in the field, and thus lose troops in a field battle. The less network points you lose, the better.
Of course.
It's usually the general rule of thumb. The second point, the nomad assaults in more than one province, if boosted and with coefficients, are really dangerous. They can put your military production capabilities to a real test. The next week in the qualifiers will determine whether your economic development was the correct one or you missed something. If you missed something, I'm sorry to say, but I have some bad news for you. You will lose a battle, and if you lose a battle, this will usually mean an end for you, for your top 30 ambitions, for everything. So that means that the loss in the second week of the qualifiers will have a major drawback to your economy. The third point, the heavy troops, the heavy nomad troops,
the upgraded armies.
it's no brainer. You should definitely have your troops ready, probably by the start of the second week in the qualifiers. If you think you can withstand a cavalry in a pillage field battle with just your light soldiers, think again. Your puny army will be stomped with an ease, and two or three of your provinces will be pillaged to the max. Uh, Let me just describe you what that means. Um, if one of these provinces is a mountain one, that's the end. You will need days and days to replenish this population, and with the penalty you have in the mountain province, this will mean you will be pillaged back to the Stone Age.
Yeah, especially keeping in mind here in the qualifiers,
Yeah,
every single day, every single hour, every single wave is
yeah,
of utmost importance.
yeah. So it's crucial to have your heavy troops ready, not only researched but hired as well. The nomads, because the nomads will not wait for you to take your sweet time, I can assure you. So basically, w- let me just summarize it again. At nomad, what will we expect? Nomad attacks in different provinces, nomad attacks in more than one provinces, and nomad attacks with heavy troops.
Yeah. Well, I think this pretty much sums up your predictions
Yeah, my
for the
my
week.
crystal ball can tell me things
Your crystal ball is a
no more.
very useful one.
Yeah.
So about tomorrow,
About tomorrow, let's see the invading attack again.
it will be a fairly strong one.
Yeah, the notice the English name of the general, Gramian Fairburn. Hmm.
We're being punny.
Yeah, it sounds like a pun intended, indeed.
Yeah.
You shall all burn, but I promise to treat you fairly when I burn you, or
This
something
this
like that.
this means
Fair
that
burn.
this means that he will be fair, because if you are prepared well enough, you're not going to burn as hard as the people that
No.
haven't prepared as
No,
much.
you will burn, but you will be treated fairly while burning.
I guess it's open to interpretation.
Yeah. But despite the pun, I think this siege is not that hard, even if it's boosted and with a coefficient. The main drive here will be again to grind this attack for a war income as much as you can. So blues, the always said nomad leader, will easily fall. But soon, I can assure you, it will not be that easy. So all of you, brave Imperial defenders, enjoy the safety of your high fortress walls while you can. So you shall all burn fairly.
And just, I wanted to ask you one last thing.
Yeah?
Do you think that the cavalry will change the gameplay in a way compared to the previous fortress sieges?
In this attack, or all.
Well, hopefully in whichever attack, is it any different in your opinion?
Cavalry is always
A game changer, or
Mm,
just
what-
slightly?
no. So the cavalry is the thing you must consider always. It is the main damage dealer in
Exactly, yeah.
in the game. So if you do not handle the cavalry in time, it is capable of destroy your entire army, or if not destroy it, it can turn it into something that is running and screaming for its life.
Yeah. Well,
So especially when you have a pillage, if you don't handle the cavalry in the field battle and you allow it to um, to pillage you unscathed, you're gonna have a bad day.
yeah. Well, we are in for a fight, as some. It was a reference to another game, whatever. So yeah, so hopefully we'll see some interesting developments in
Yeah.
the upcoming days, and let's see how people are going to feel after
Yeah.
tomorrow's attack.
Blues will strike in the early morning server
Tomorrow,
time
yeah.
before the sun rises.
Mhm.
So when the sun rises, we will have people smiling, we will have people crying. Most of them will probably smile. We shall see. And we
Yeah.
will talk about it
Tomorrow, 3 p.m. server time,
3
as
p.m.
usual.
every weekday.
Hopefully, I won't have a lot of bad news tomorrow, the
Yeah.
way I did today.
Yeah, you sounded very morbid.
Yeah, because
Today.
it was very fatal. So, yeah,
It's a war.
it's a war.
We have to look at it as a war.
It is.
So, everyone, that was the first summarize of the events in the World Cup qualifiers. We'll see each other tomorrow at 3 p.m. server time, when me and Vicky here will talk about everything that needs to be talked about in the World Cup qualifiers.
Have a great day, and hopefully your walls will stand.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. We're going live.
The time for the World Cup podcast has come once again.
Comments, statistics, experts, news, analysis. All you need to know, live on YouTube.